We welcome you back for a second consecutive day to the campus of Marian University on the near northwest side of Indianapolis. It is day number 2 of 2 games in Crossroads League play as Marian and Grace meet. They split the games a day ago. Grace winning game 1 5-2, with Marian coming back to win game 2 2-1. My name is Greg Rakestraw, joined by Chris Walker. Rob Brown joins us for game number 2 this afternoon. And Chris, I think the question, simply put, is can these two pitching staffs match what they did a day ago?
Tell you what, Greg, it's going to be hard to do it, but I'd love to see them do it. It was really fun to watch these teams throw the baseball yesterday.
Obviously, yesterday we played through some rain a little bit in game number 2. Different weather conditions today. We weren't supposed to be playing today. However, because of the forecast being ominous for tomorrow, we have moved today's games up, and weather-wise we should be good. What is obviously of note is, A, how much warmer it is, but B, there is a pretty significant breeze going to be blowing out of the yard today from the southwest, which means straight away to center field. How does that impact today's games?
Well, these are those days when you're a pitcher, you don't like to look up and see the flags the way they're blowing. It's going to be a warm day, heavy air. I mean, it's going to be a good hitter's day, so you're looking forward to that.
Eli Leuchinger is on the mound for the Marian Knights. Young man from Batesville, getting his 5th start of the season. This is his 11th game in total. Has thrown 32 2/3 innings. His ERA is 4.41. He's walked 17. He has struck out 31. Batting average against him is .211. That is impressive. And simply put, pitching and defense is how this Marian team has gotten into a tie for second in the Crossroads League and 23-20 overall in the season.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday. They pitched the ball well yesterday. They played good defense. Had some base running mishaps at times, but I really liked what they did yesterday.
The batting lineup for the Lancers of Grace College is virtually the same as it was a day ago. Maximo De Leon will lead things off in center field. Dalton Cody is the shortstop, batting second. Ryan Stark, who had his program record 13th home run of the season in game number 1, bats third. Josh Cosme, who missed a homer in his first swing by about a foot in game number 1 yesterday, bats 4th. Jose Ayala, the left fielder, bats 5th. Grant Hartley, the DH, bats 6th. Braden McIntyre, that's the one difference we'll see, at least from game number 1 yesterday, or Braden McIntosh, I should say. John Joyce and Mason Wire round out the batting 9 for the visiting Lancers. Grace comes in at 9-21 in league play, but frankly, they looked a lot better than that, I thought, a day ago.
No kidding. And that started by their starting pitcher, Etchison, who was just dominant yesterday.
This is Maximo De Leon, graduate student at Grace from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic.
I have been there. Really neat place, that is for sure.
De Leon batting .312 on the season. 4 home runs and 26 runs batted in. Leuchinger hits the top of the zone with a strike, and the count is 1-1.
De Leon hit a couple balls really hard yesterday. Excited to see him here again today.
Outfield straight away and deep for the leadoff man.
Good pitch.
Again, top of the zone. 1-2 the count. De Leon has now played in all 44 games this season for the Lancers. Off the plate, 2-2. De Leon yesterday 1 for 6 in the 2 games combined, and sprays that one foul to see at least one more pitch in this at bat.
Ball had a lot of late break to it right there. Good job by De Leon fighting it off to live to see another day.
These are games 6 and 7 of the week for Grace. Chased what would have been ball 3 instead of strikeout number 1 of the day. 1 down.
Nice job by Leuchinger. High fastball, just throws it right by De Leon. That's that pitch in baseball. As a hitter, it looks so good, but it's just impossible to hit.
So next up is Dalton Cody. Cody the plate, the shortstop. We were impressed by the geographic variety on this Grace roster a day ago. Dalton from the state of Vermont. This is a midsummer day. If you're from Vermont, we're going to hit 80 degrees this afternoon.
No kidding. And folks, if you're watching on TV, Dalton Cody's uniform is exactly what a baseball uniform should look like. That's how you should wear a baseball uniform right there.
So you're a fan of having the pants right around the knees and not all the way down.
100%.
Knew I liked you. And this one lifted foul, 1-2 the count.
And for us guys that could really run, that made you appear to be even faster when you wore your pants like that.
Now that's where I exit the conversation. I couldn't really run. I could hit, but I couldn't really run.
Well, Greg, if you hit it far enough, you don't have to run that fast.
That was what I told the coach. Cody lifts this one, left field, and it will hold up just in fair territory and also long enough for Dawson Eastep to snag it, and there's 2 down.
Nice job there. Dawson Eastep ranging toward the foul line to make the play for the second out of the inning.
So here is Ryan Stark, and we mentioned the tear that he was on earlier this season. It had been some time since he had homered, but that 13th homer is the new single-season record at Grace. And that is with at least 6 games left to play, and they're hoping for more in the conference tournament. They're 1 game clear in the race for the final spot in the conference tournament 2 weeks from now.
And as we talked about it yesterday, that home run was not a fence scraper.
Off speed misses 1-1 the count. Stark, a senior from Portland, Texas. Played at Freed Hardman in Tennessee before making his way to Winona Lake, Indiana. Curveball just broke off the plate, 2-1.
I saw Stark yesterday after the game. He's put together pretty well.
And you see Cameron Salazar on your screen there for Marian. That's the second baseman. So again, they employ the shift here for the first few batters. That one couldn't hold the zone. 3-1 the count. Leuchinger has walked 17 batters and now 33 innings pitched on the year.
Good pitch.
Stark went chasing on that one. I think he thought that was going to be a little flatter than it was at 3-1.
Correct.
Payoff pitch here. Just missed. So Stark works a walk in his leadoff appearance. Comes made to the plate.
Stark showed some good discipline on that one. He swung at a poor pitch before that on a 3-1 pitch, but then he laid off of it on 3-2.
Cosme, a senior from Bolingbrook, Illinois. On the season, Cosme batting .287, 2 home runs, and 22 runs batted in. This Grace team began their season playing in late January. Wow. Got to go to Florida to play the Kaiser Seahawks. That misses 1-0 the count. Cosme had hits in both games yesterday. Went a combined 3 for 7 in the doubleheader. He has a 5-game hitting streak going into today's game.
Good pitch.
Got it. And that was a late breaking off-speed pitch. Just clipped the inside corner. Grace is a little more likely to try to steal a base than Marian does. Stark, though, not normally that guy. Normally that's reserved for De Leon and Stogsdill, who we saw as both a courtesy runner and defensive replacement in yesterday's games. Leuchinger couldn't hold the zone there. Count now goes to 3-1.
See, Leuchinger he's continually pulling that ball to the glove side. He's got to get squared up here, dial it back in.
Leuchinger, a freshman. He has gone 6 innings in each of his last 2 outings.
Good pitch. Oh.
Just kind of handcuffed the catcher. That's Lamb. No further advance on the ball that got away from him. Just a walk. And it's a 2-out rally going here for Grace.
You know what? I wonder if he catches that strike. I kind of thought the umpire was flinching a little bit. And that's sometimes you'll have that.
So Stogsdill will come in to be the courtesy runner. We saw that most of the day yesterday. And Stogsdill's got really good speed. In other words, if there's the ball that finds the gap, he should be coming home on it. So Ayala at the plate, the left fielder. Pops him straight up.
Right over us.
Heads up in the van.
I want to watch Jose Ayala's pre-pitch routine. He kind of punches the bat. I thought he broke his hand this last time. Watch this. He won't do it again. He did it the last time. He smacked the bat really hard.
Jose from Panama City, Panama. So the count at 1-1. Ayala on the season batting .296, 2 home runs, and 27 runs batted in. Lifts this one. Right field. Right fielder drifting back, and that gets over his glove. And again, that will be at least 2, but it's going to plate 2 runs, and both walks come around to score. Grace jumps out to a 2-0 lead.
It's just a really good piece of Jose Ayala. The piece of hitting by Jose Ayala goes to the backside of the field, kind of gets that ball up in the jet stream, and the right fielder the right fielder Miller just cannot run that down. So really good piece of hitting by Jose Ayala.
Well, walks will come back to kill you.
Yes, they will.
And again, frankly, that will be the offensive mindset of every batter today, and that is just get it up in the jet stream and let it go. Because, again, it's a 2 or 3 club win going straight to center field today. There were a combined total of 10 runs scored yesterday in 2 games, and we may see that in both games today. It happens you get a little further in your pitching staff, but again, weather conditions could lead to some big numbers this afternoon.
Just gotta avoid the free pass.
Here's Grant Hartley. Batting .274. Lamb's going to come out and talk to his freshman pitcher. No conversation to be joined from the dugout just yet. Hartley on the season, 5 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Grad student from Auburn, Maine. Hartley yesterday 2 for 5 over the 2 games combined. Had a run scored and an RBI as well.
Good crowd in attendance today, Greg.
Well, you would think that because for a lot of folks, this can be a holiday.
Also have senior day, right? Festivities.
Absolutely. Moved up from tomorrow. And Marian on the road at top team in the league, Taylor, who's already clinched the league championship with 6 games left to play. That one rattles the cage of Lamb, 0-1 the count. Reference the fact that Leuchinger has thrown 6 innings in each of his last 2 outings. Coming against Mount Vernon, Nazarene, and Bethel. In fact, the 2 runs he has just allowed match what he gave up in both of those starts.
Wow.
Off speed, gets the top of the zone. Count of 2-2. Hopping away from second is the runner. Ground ball. Can the shortstop get there in time? No. Runner gets the wave around and making another run. So 4 consecutive batters have reached with 2 outs, and now 3 have come around to score. And the Lancers off to a great start here in game number 3.
Nice job by Grant Hartley. Just took that ball right back through the middle. Knocks it through, gets himself an RBI. He's on first base, and the Lancers have something going.
Grace has not looked like the 8th place team in the league.
I would totally agree with that.
And they're 9-21 in league play. And really, they're in kind of a 2-team battle. They and Bethel for the last spot in the league.
Leuchinger's missing up just at the top of the zone there. He's got to really fight to get down in the zone.
Braden McIntosh at the plate. Pops this one straight up. First baseman drifting over. Again, Wynn's going to make all of those a bit more interesting. Catch is made, but the damage is done. 7 come to the plate in the first inning for Grace, and 3 come around to score. Lancers 3. Knights coming to bat when we come back to Indianapolis on ISC.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
The starter for today's game for the Grace College Lancers, that would be Sam Justice. Sam is a junior from Warsaw, so literally down the street from his hometown high school, playing at Grace. On the season, Sam, a 7.62 ERA, one-loss record of 1-3. 9th appearance on the year. This is start number 6. He has thrown 28 in the third innings. He has walked 13. He has struck out 23 opposing batters, batting .277 on Sam this season. The lineup that he will face today for the Marian Knights, Cam Salazar, who again had his first home run in 3 years in game number 1 yesterday. That followed a triple he had earlier in the game. He will hit leadoff. Zach Bale bumps up a spot. He will bat second. Max Steffen, the DH, bumps up to spot number 3. Josh Lamb, the catcher, bats 4th. Hector Corona, the third baseman, bats 5th. Dawson Eastep bats 6th. Calvin Miller will bat 7th again. He is in for the injured McManus from game number 1 yesterday. Eli Kelly bats 8th, and then Nathan Penarski, who we saw lead off in game number 1, down to the 9 spot in today's game.
So Penarski in that second game yesterday laid down a beautiful bunt, just went right into no man's land, and it was really well executed yesterday in that second game.
Well, let's talk about the young man that we just mentioned that got injured in terms of Cole McManus, senior from Naperville, Illinois. He is up here in the press box with us, and I think he is hopeful maybe to potentially get a chance to play in the conference tournament maybe next weekend. He did suffer a facial injury. I want to make sure we wish him the best of luck. Again, long term, he's going to be just fine, but painful experience he had a day ago.
Tough kid. I'll tell you what, he looked like he just got in a fight with Mike Tyson, but I'll tell you, he was up here in great spirits, and he's ready to rock and roll.
And you're talking about like circa 86, 87 Tyson,
correct.
not like late 90s Tyson, yes.
That's correct.
Ball gets away from the catcher, so here is Salazar. Cameron, the senior from Wawasee High School, batting .322 on the season, a home run, and 27 runs batted in. Off-speed in for a strike, and I guarantee you, these two guys know each other pretty well, being from Warsaw and Wawasee, respectively.
This young man had a heck of a day offensively yesterday.
Well, he was 4 for 7 for the doubleheader.
With a homer, a triple, a double. Did he get a single yesterday?
So he hit for the cycle and the doubleheader is
That's
what you're
right.
telling me.
That's right.
Just off the plate. And the way this works, yesterday and today, the only time these two teams see each other during the regular season. Sky-high pop-up that, again, the wind will carry that. And, again, that felt like a pop-up. Look where the left fielder caught it.
No kidding.
Wasn't exactly threatening the track, but it wasn't close to the shortstop either. That's the win today, and there's one down.
You know, if you're Sam Justice here, your offense comes out and spots you 3 runs. The last thing you want to come out here and do is give up free passes. So you have to do your best job to pitch to weak contact here.
Well, to Sam's credit, he averages about a walk every 2 innings. 13 free passes and 28 2/3 on the season. So this is Zach Bale. We talked about his story yesterday. Began his career at South Alabama from Destin, Florida. 8 home runs and 40 runs batted in on the season for the 6'7" and 235-pound redshirt junior.
Good pitch.
Big old hook that time, in for a strike. Bale yesterday just 1 for 6 over the course of the doubleheader. Off the end of the bat, foul. Bale leads the team in batting average, on base plus slugging, home runs, and runs batted in, not to mention slugging percentage.
Well, that, sir, would classify you as the best hitter on the team.
Leads the team in doubles as well. Has 43 hits, 23 of them for extra bases. Wow. Rolls this one, foul. And we'll do it again at 1-2. And Bale and Salazar. Well, as Steph and the guys that hit north of 300 in this Marian lineup. Team batting average 255, but opposing hitters batting just 245 against the Knights. Good job to spoil that one.
It's a great job. As that ball was coming around the plate, that was going to be close.
You and I are lucky to have kind of the batter's eye view here in the press
Correct.
box, and
Yep.
you and I saw the absolute late movement of that ball. Ground ball, shortstop. Gets a bit of a candy hop. But the lollipop throw wasn't his best effort, but no damage done, and there's 2 down.
Bill hit that ball in the barrel. He just hit it straight on the ground. Shortstop fields it, throws it cleanly over there. Cody to Stark for the second out of the inning.
Here's Max Steffen. And Steffen has only played in about half the games for Marian this year, but he's batting .319. No home runs and 5 RBI. Had an RBI in the 5-2 loss a day ago.
Good pitch.
In for a strike. Steffen got the nod in both games yesterday. Went 0 for 1 in game number 2. Just off the plate. Cosme did his best to frame it, but
he did.
Get the home plate umpire to bite. 1-1 the count. Two and 1.
See if Steffen sits on a fastball here. Be disciplined enough to get the bat head out and shoot one in the gap.
And Steffen from Moeller High School in Cincinnati.
That's off. Good take. Great discipline there.
3 and 1. All right, what's he sitting on here?
Now, if I'm him, I'm sitting on the pitch that I like the best, whether it's a fastball middle in or away a little bit. Whatever I like the best is what I'm sitting on.
I didn't get anything close to that.
And that's perfectly fine. You take your base, increase your own base percentage.
Steffen works a walk. Here comes Josh Lamb. Again, Lamb moved up a spot in the lineup today. Batting .271 with a home run and 21 runs batted in for the redshirt junior from Hammond Morton High School. They share a nickname with Austin Peay State University.
Oh, what are they? Oh, God, I just watched a game with Austin Peay.
The gentleman that has this title in the state lives about 10 blocks from me.
Oh, my goodness. That's a strike. Yeah.
In for a strike. I will ease your pain. The Governors.
Yes, duh.
I wouldn't say duh, but
no,
the
it
Governors,
was. That was it.
Lamb yesterday 0 for 4 in game number 1. Fared much better in game 2. Went 2 for 2 at the plate.
What are they? Clarksville, Tennessee, I think?
That is correct, sir.
Yeah.
Breaking ball misses. 1-1 the count. Lamb making his 31st appearance of the season for the redshirt junior. Ball gets away, runner will advance, and no play. So free 90 feet, and a runner in scoring position for Marian.
Cosme's having some trouble back there. I'm not sure if he's getting crossed up a little bit or what, but there's been a couple of balls like that today.
Lamb, second team all-league a season ago at the plate here for Marian. And for a strike at the knees, 2-2 the count. Marian trying to equal the two-out prowess of Grace in the top half of the first inning. Ground ball, third baseman's got it. Wire fields that one promptly. Good throw from the number 5 position, and the inning is over. So Marian has some work to do after inning number 1. They trail it 3-0. You're watching Marian Baseball on the ISC Sports Network.
When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. anything.
Whoa! Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
Want to thank some of our great sponsors that make Marian Athletics possible on ISC, like First On Site, formerly More Restoration, here to help you power through whatever comes your way. From fire and flood to catastrophic storms or biohazards, they have the team, technology, and resources to help you restore, rebuild, and rise. Go Knights. You see some of the achievements this Marian program has had over the years and the solid crowd. That's down the first baseline. Those are the Grace families, friends, etc. Here watching all of the action today, and it's another busy day on campus. And there's a massive softball doubleheader right behind us. Top two teams in the league, and Indiana Wesleyan and Marian clashing. Marian won game one, scoring 2 touchdowns and holding Indiana Wesleyan to a field goal, winning that one 14-3. And I think that puts those two teams on level terms, meaning game number 2 probably decides the league championship.
Oh, wow.
This afternoon. So if
be
you're going
fun
to check
watch.
it out for an inning, I don't blame you.
Yeah,
you
no
skedaddle
kidding.
over there and
That'd be
go,
fun to
go see
watch.
that. We will have Marian against Taylor in doubleheader fashion in softball coming up on Tuesday as our final spring sport telecast of the season. And I can do this when he's not here more easily, thanks to Mitch Huppert, all the great work that he does. But he is the driving force on campus that has us here on such a regular basis. 8-9-1 coming up this time through for Grace. John Joyce, former Parameridian Falcon, steps to the dish for Grace. Sprayed foul. Had a chance to spend some time last night with the wonderful AD at Parameridian, Emily Steinmetz, in an IHSAA function, which is why I missed yesterday's game.
Gotcha.
You'll notice, and since I'm not on camera, you have to believe me, I'm not exactly dressed as formally as I was doing the broadcast a day ago.
Yeah, I'd never seen you in one of our broadcasts with a shirt and tie on, Greg.
I can pull it off, but it's not my favorite look. I'm much more enjoying sweatpants Saturday on a Friday right now with you here. Counted 0-2. Hop to home plate. Joyce on the season again. Hasn't had a chance to play much, making up for lost time. He's played in 13 games, has a home run and 9 runs batted in.
We saw him hit a bullet in the first game yesterday. Good fight.
This is the 5th appearance he has made this week. Grace had a 1-game makeup with Goshen. They had 1 game to finish in their set with Goshen. They snuck that in Monday. Then played a non-conference double dip against IU South Bend Tuesday. Good job to lay off of that one. And again, this schedule was supposed to be Thursday, Saturday for these 2 doubleheaders. Trying to avoid Good Friday, but weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow meant that this game got moved up a day. Pop-up, and again, all pop-up's going to be a little nasty to deal with today. Again, watch that thing track.
Whoa.
As Corona side saddles that one, and there's one down.
Yeah, that ended up being a lot tougher play than I thought originally Eli Kelly, the shortstop, was going to take that. But Corona was calling it hard, so he let him go, but that almost tailed away from him.
Do you want to have the teaching moment or me here?
Go ahead.
Kids, keep your feet moving on a day like today.
There you go.
Try to keep your body under the ball as best you can, knowing you may not get there, but keep those feet moving. First pitch swing, and this is going to be tough to track, although the wind's actually going to push it to the center fielder because, A, they're playing deep, but that was off the end of the bat from Wire. 1 pitch, 1 down. Penarski makes the catch, and there's 2 away.
Good job there by Penarski, but even better, Leutzinger's got 2 pretty quick outs here, so he needs this short inning.
He looked impressive, though, the first 2 batters he faced.
He really did.
And it kind of went away. So here's De Leon. Breaks out of the zone, 1-0 the count.
Really want to see this bat out of De Leon. His first at bat today, he chased out of the zone high. Didn't see much of that out of him yesterday. Ooh.
Just off the corner, 2-0.
Love to see how batters make in-game adjustments.
De Leon, the all-time record holder for stolen bases for the Lancers. First team All-League a season ago. Pops him up.
Leutzinger's doing a really good job now getting hard in on these batters. You just don't see that enough. Pitchers don't use the inside part of the plate enough, in my opinion.
Those hitters make it hard to get there.
They do.
Try to put a bunt down. Foul tip, 2-2.
Not a bad idea. Corona's really deep at third. If you can get it down the line, he's definitely going to beat it out. The only problem now is he's got a 2-2 count on him, so he's got to battle.
Yeah, that was a simple read play with the third baseman is what that was. Count of 2-2. Sprays that one foul. De Leon hands up on the bat a little bit, choking up on a 2-strike count.
So that was the breaking ball there. Let's see if Leutzinger remembers how he got him out the first time. See if he tries to throw a fastball right across the letters. See if he'll chase.
He did. Swing and a miss. Pulled the string on that one a little bit, and Leutzinger has struck out 2 batters so far. They both have been De Leon. So Leutzinger retires the side in the top of the second inning. 3-0 Lancers after 1.5 on the ISC Sports Network.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Chris's private jet bringing him to today's action here at Marian. Yes, we are in the flight path of the Indianapolis International Airport. We have cited the proximity to the airport from here as a reason why when Marian does host, numerous national kind of tournament events, you will see teams from all over the country that end up playing here in Indianapolis. During the women's regional, was held here last month, Oregon Tech made their way to Indianapolis. Last year, Southern Oregon played in the softball regional that was here.
Okay.
Hector Corona. Corona, the freshman, to the plate. Corona batting .230 on the season, but he has been an everyday player. Corona yesterday 1 for 5 over the 2 games of the double dip. And for a strike.
Backdoor breaking ball.
5, 6, and 7 to up this time through for the Knights. Tried the same pitch, just missed the location. 1-1. Corona from Plainfield, Illinois, Plainfield Central High School. 2-1 the count. And lifts this one foul. Marian enters today's play in a 3-way tie for second in the league. Indiana Wesleyan, Marian, and St. Francis all 18-12. Now, Vernon Nazarene is down to just 4 games left in the league. They're 18-14.
Wow. That is hard to believe. The season's almost over.
And really, for all of those teams that is mentioned, they could finish anywhere from 2 to 7. There's a lot left to play for the last weekend of the season. Swing and a miss. Corona couldn't time the off-speed pitch. He's the first strikeout victim for the Knights, and there's one down.
It's a really good pitch by Justice. Just kind of went backdoor a little bit again, and Corona wasn't sure if I needed to swing at it or not. Decides too late, swings through it.
Here is Dawson Estep that will come to the plate next.
Had a good conversation with Dawson before the game today.
Why am I not surprised that Dawson is a good conversationalist when it comes to baseball?
Tell me one of his aspirations post-baseball is to look into the WWE world. And
So hence the reason why he had Triple H's theme song as his walk-up music.
There you go. There you go.
I forget which player on the softball team uses the Shane O'Mac entrance theme.
Gotcha.
But you get to hear that on a regular basis.
Yeah, Dawson asked me about my boys. Dawson and both my boys have done some hitting together at his dad's facility out at Round Tripper, so it's good to talk to him.
Good job by Dawson to lay off of that one. Dawson's father, Chris, played at the University of Kentucky and played in 489 minor league games.
Yeah, Chris could swing it a little bit.
Chris played in places like Watertown, Augusta, Salem. Played for the Carolina Mudcats, the Chattanooga Lookouts, and the Cedar Rapids Reds. Found straight back, spent parts of 5 years playing in the minors. And the family business, Round Tripper Baseball Academy in Westfield. And E-step works a wall. So here's Calvin Miller. And again, Miller had to come in to replace McManus early in yesterday's game. Miller's batting .257 with 4 home runs and 13 RBI.
Oh,
Miller turns on this one, but ropes it foul. And he is a freshman from Southport High School. He went 0 for 6 yesterday. And wasn't planning on being in the lineup and pressed into duties.
Yeah, I'll take one of those away from him because he came in and his first at-bat, he had one pitch to swing at.
Uh-huh. Now he got away from the catcher. And E-step will take the free ride. Second time that a runner has advanced from first to second in this game on a ball that got by Cosme.
Yeah, that one I don't know if he could have done much with.
No.
Almost really high.
That one hit the ball. 1-1 the count. Now 2-1. Miller getting his 26th appearance of the season. And one of his better games of the year on Tuesday in a non-conference win against the Cougars of IU Kokomo. Went 3 of 5 from the plate. That misses.
Good hitters count right now.
In the way that the league schedule is now set up these days, it is much easier to work in some non-conference games in midweek for all these teams. And almost all the NAIA schools in the state field baseball teams.
Ooh.
Didn't miss that by much.
That's just a tough situation as a hitter. You get that 3-1 pitch that you want, and you foul it straight back. You don't get any prizes for fouling straight back.
Other than confidence in your own mind, knowing you're on it.
Yes.
Full count. Ball 4.
Good job.
So all 3 batters that have reached for Marian have done so by way of a free pass. Here comes Eli Kelly.
Really looking forward to seeing Eli here today. Whoa. Eli really struggled yesterday on the breaking ball. And then when he got the fastball, he would either take it or foul it off. So you got to find a way to get from in between, right? You got to choose what you're going to get, and when you get it, you got to hit it. So let's see if Eli can make the adjustment today.
Now, Eli was 0 for 5 over the 2 games combined yesterday. Coach Roth out to talk to his pitcher. Nobody's thrown to the bullpen yet, but they're about to get started. And Grace with a 3-0 lead, but as we've mentioned, Justice has been his own worst enemy so far, having walked 3 of the 7 batters he's faced. Justice went 4 1/3 his last time out against Huntington. That was on Saturday. In that game, he gave up 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, walked 3 and struck out 2.
This is a long conversation.
It's just concluded.
Really good situation for Eli to hit here. Couple runners on early in the game. Can really wipe away all the stuff that happened yesterday with one swing and a bat here.
And Grace will have a non-conference game coming up on Tuesday as they take on Trinity Christian of the west side of Chicago. And they will play Bethel twice at home next week to wrap up the season. And that will basically be the play-in series for the conference tournament. Kelly.
Straight up. Whoa.
Center fielder able to get it. But again, like we said, there's going to be no such thing as a routine pop fly today.
Not today.
Yep.
Today's one of those days where you don't really like being an outfielder. And DeLeon just had it happen to him.
But you can laugh about that one. If it gets by you, not so much.
That's right. You make the catch, the runners don't advance, everything's good.
So here's Nate Penarski. Penarski batting .259 this season for the sophomore from Goshen.
See Wire kind of playing in, even with 2 outs. Oh, my goodness.
Hit him.
That's not going to feel good.
So bases are full, and Marian has yet to get a base hit.
Yeah, that one is not going to feel good.
Good news is for Penarski, they got him in the shoe, which is better than what you'd say on the leg. Hit him right on the outside of that right foot. And now Salazar, who's had some really good swings the last couple of days, has the bases full.
Yeah, I don't think there's a batter you'd rather have up at the dish right now if you're Marian than Cam Salazar after what he's done, what he did yesterday. Gotta like this situation.
Cam has had 2 hits in 4 of his last 5 games. See him all stacked around the base paths.
Good pitch. Ooh.
Just broke a little late, a little high. Count at 1-0. Good pitch there.
Yes.
And not a thing that Salazar could do with that one.
No.
1-1.
He did the best thing with it. Just take it.
That one gets away from the catcher. Runner's going to advance. They might be able to score 2 here. Miller makes the turn.
Oh,
He's
wow.
going to try. Play, and Cosme could not kind of grip the ball. He was at the edge of the dugout. Let's see if there's maybe any sort of
They're going to call it dead.
interference there. Let's see here. I think they're going to say both runners will score. No further advance. Cosme just couldn't really get the ball out of his hand.
Wow.
And that is the 2-run wild pitch. And good job by Miller.
No kidding.
Never let up the entire time.
Really good aggressive base running there by Marian. That will really frustrate you as a coaching staff at Grace, though.
Well, part of it, too, and we talked about this in terms of foul pop-ups, but it works in wild pitches. There is so much space in foul territory here. That ball just kind of kept going. So it's 3-2 in first strike.
Marian is in position to score a 3rd run without a hit.
Ground ball. Trampoline hop right to the second baseman. And that is the end of the inning. But Marian scratches a couple of runs without benefit of a base hit through 2, 3-2 Lancers. You're watching an ISC.
We jumped in immediately. We take a intro to engineering course.
And they sit there and tell you, we're not going to push you through every single prereq your first 2 years. We're going to let you get hands-on work with engineering right away because 2 years of a prereq, that's boring.
There's companies always asking for students with shop experience. And the dean will email me and say, hey, they're looking for a guy just like you, which is awesome that the dean knows who a guy like me is.
Again, beautiful day here at Marian University. But as Dan Elster would say, they're all beautiful days at Marian University. 3-2 is the score. That's the university president, for those who don't know that gentleman by name reference. Want to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. We appreciate it every day, but again, these were folks that were either scheduled to work the Indianapolis Indians game tonight or were thinking, hey, I'm working Saturday afternoon. And on Wednesday night, we said, no, folks, it's going to be a Friday game. So thank you, Vince Morales, Kyle Donlett, David Kahn, Carlos Alarkin IV, Dalton Cox, Eldon Wheeler, and Greg the Leg Sharton out in center field.
So is there an Indians game today?
Indians baseball does take place this evening at Victory Field. The Toledo Mudhens in for a 6-game series.
I got to get this. I have not seen an Indians game the last couple of years, and I'd really like to go see Matt Gorski down there. Justin played with him at IU, and he was so much fun to watch for a couple of years at IU.
Former Hamilton Southeastern Royal.
Yes.
6:35, and you can watch that on the dot in Indianapolis this evening. We at the ISC Sports Network produce all 75 Indianapolis Indians home games.
It's a lot of baseball, Greg.
And that it is, which is why it's Vince Morales, our director's favorite sport. Dalton Cody to the plate. Flew out to left field his first time up, one that was just tucked inside the foul line in fair territory. Again, first pitch swinging. Again, popped up, and he watched it from his back up, back up.
Wow.
That was a 300-foot swing that went about 400 feet.
No kidding.
It ends up in an out for Penarski.
That ball carried tremendously. This is going to be an adventurous day out there.
In between games, I'm going to go get my driver. I'm going to see just how far I can hit a ball to center field today.
It's a good day to do it.
The poor man's long drive competition will take place right after senior day festivities. Here's Stark, who walked and scored his last time up. Son trying to fight through the clouds here this afternoon. We dealt with rain at the beginning of game number 2 yesterday, but played through it. Ball breaks out of the zone, 1-1 the count. All 3 runs for Grace coming to the top of the first.
Ooh.
Hammers this one.
Ooh.
Left fielder backing up, and that's gone. Yep. Stark with his 14th home run of the season, adding to his school record, his second in as many days, and Grace back to a 2-run lead.
Well, Greg, I think that was you we talked about this with yesterday, and not Rob, but he hits them in bunches, right? I mean, he just kind of just starts hitting them, and he can't stop hitting them.
Well, we can talk about things being wind-aided. That was not one of them.
No, that was on a line.
That was all him.
Yep, that one was hit well.
Yeah, Stark had a stretch in mid-March. He had 2 homers in 3 consecutive games against Mount Vernon Nazarene.
Yep, they will pile up quickly when you do that.
Before yesterday, he had not homered since March 22nd. Now he's got 2 in as many days. So here's Kozmek.
Good pitch.
Kozmek, a very cordial conversation with our, as the catcher's allowed to have.
Correct.
No consternation, just more inquiry.
Mm-hmm.
And then pitch went right back to that same spot.
And he hit the same exact spot.
Count it 1-2. Swing and a miss. Well, good comeback by Leuchinger.
Very good comeback and a very good sequence of pitching there. 2 sliders on the outside corner, and he just speeds him up with a fastball. He can't catch up to it.
Not bad for a freshman, right?
No kidding.
For Leuchinger, that is his 4th home run he has allowed this season. And from Batesville High School. School that's produced a couple of major league pitchers in the not-too-distant past. Ayala hammers this one foul. That one tails away.
Well, you had Brian Hoyer, big right-handed pitcher, and then Zach Britton was more of a catcher coming out of high school. He caught Hoyer when he was, I think Zach was probably a freshman when Hoyer was a senior at that time. But Zach could really swing it, really swing it. Zach played at Louisville. Actually, they both played at Louisville. Good baseball area.
Got it 2-2.
Brian Hoying, not Hoyer, Hoying.
Ground ball, and again, Salazar, normally the second baseman, had that one scouted perfectly.
Yes,
Fires over to first, and the inning is over. But Grace tacks on another run for Stark, his record-setting 14th home run of the season. You're watching Marian baseball. They trail the Lancers by 2 early. On ISC.
Hey, grab me one too.
Two, 3, and 4 coming up this time through. New pitcher on the mound for Grace. So Justice goes just 2, and that's it. Parker Newby, the appropriately named new pitcher for Grace. Newby, a 5.12 ERA. This is his 14th appearance of the season. So he has had his number called most frequently for any Grace hurler this year. Equal appearances as a starter and a reliever, 7 apiece, 31 2/3 innings. He has walked 19, which gets your attention. He has struck out 53 in 31 2/3.
Wow.
Opposing batters batting .264 against Parker. And he is from Hancock County, Kentucky, Hawesville, Kentucky, which is just along the Ohio River. If I remember right, kind of the Tell City, Cannleton area. He is a grad student.
I'm excited to see his stuff with those strikeout numbers. He's got to have something.
Well, I'm curious as to how much, and again, college baseball throw a little bit more than you would a professional. He threw 6 1/3 on Monday. So I'm curious as to exactly, maybe he's got one trip through the lineup here.
Gotcha.
He struck out 12 on Monday against Goshen.
Wow.
6 1/3 of 5-hit, 1-run baseball for Newby. Here's Bale. Ground ball to shortstop. His last time up.
Oh, jammed.
Little liner. Again, ball caroms off the dirt. Bale retired 6-3 for a second consecutive at bat.
Looked like a really good cut fastball there by Newby. That ball really bored in on Bale's hands at the last second.
Curveball in for a strike. Steffen. Good battle against the lefty. Sprays it off the tarp. 0-2 the count. By the way, because I'm a nerd like that, I want to make sure that I had given the proper geographic attribution to Hancock County. And I did.
There you go.
I know they're a small high school because they play my high school in basketball. 0-2. They're from almost down in Erdosey land.
Battle of the little guys, huh?
Better known as St. Meinrad.
Good old-fashioned Kentucky-Indiana basketball rivalry. Good pitch.
Had him flinching, just missed it. Count it 1-2.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Just literally snapped off late.
Man.
2-2.
Starting to kind of see why he has some of the strikeout numbers he has. Some really good stuff. Good
Line drive
swing,
base hit.
Stephen.
Good battle.
Yes, it was.
Stephen has reached for a second time in as many appearances, and that is the first base hit of the game for Marian.
It's a really nice job by Max. He just lets this ball travel, smokes a line drive into the backside of the field, gets himself a single. Really like that piece of hitting there.
So Lamb to the plate. Hit one of the third basemen his last time up. Foul.
Man, that breaking ball is really got some late breaking action to it because that ball looks to be straight for a long time. And as soon as you start your swing as a hitter, it's coming born in on your hands as a right-hander.
Well, you probably would not be surprised to know that Newby, a former Division I pitcher, pitched at the University of Toledo.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Another foul ball. 0-2 the count.
Which means he would have been there with a former teammate of mine at Purdue. A gentleman by the name of Nick McIntyre is the hitting coach there.
Parker in the Masters of Athletic Administration program at Grace. This one lined to left field for a base hit.
Yes.
Now, that's just a couple of good pieces of hitting.
Yes, it really is.
By the 3 and 4 hitters for Marian, tying runners aboard. And here comes Hector Corona to the plate.
Your third baseman, number 36.
Nice job there by Josh Lamb. His first hit of the day.
Courtesy runner will come on here for Marian with the catcher reaching in Lamb. So we'll show you the replay of that. The courtesy runner is Callan Gick. I know you know well.
Yep, Cal.
Former Harrison
Local
Raider.
kid, Harrison High School. Primarily used as a utility infielder and courtesy runner.
Gick on the season has appeared in now 19 games. Has just 22 at-bats during that time. So here's Corona. Struck out his first time up, but again, seeing a different pitcher.
Hector's going to have some success. I think he's going to have to drive that ball the other way.
Ground ball.
Oh, he gets it through
and
there.
that'll get through.
Good job.
It'll
Good
give the run of the
job.
wave around. And also advancing to third on the play. Great base running that time.
Yes, it was.
By both Stephan and Gick, and it's 4-3.
Just a good piece there by Hector. He gets the ball down and in, a ball that he's actually able to pull. Just pulls it through that 4-hole, gets himself an RBI. And Marian is on a roll right now. 3 hits in a row.
For Corona, that is his 19th run batted in this season. We'll see how Grace plays this. In other words, he steps simply a ground ball to the middle, may be able to play to run here to tie this game.
So Marian scores their first 2 runs with no hits. And now they get 3 consecutive hits to score another run. Ouch.
Hit him, hit him.
Dawson's not happy about that.
And obviously clipped Cosme inadvertently. And take a look here.
Ouch.
Our right fielder, number 37.
They got him right in the mask, yep. I don't think that was in any way intentional. But base is now loaded. So second Marian player hit by a pitch in the first 3 innings. And here comes Calvin Miller.
Calvin has come up a lot of times in the last couple of days with runners on base. A lot of runners on base. So another big spot for him.
Last 4 batters of reach for the Knights. Inside out
trouble.
swing.
That's trouble.
And that will be caught. Good job by Gick, though, is tagging immediately, and the game is tied. So give Miller a productive out on an RBI.
It's a good job there by Calvin Miller. Gets a pitch on the outside part of the plate. It's a fly ball deep enough into left field to get himself a sac fly RBI.
Well, we thought this would be a higher scoring game as a little longer going a weekend set they normally are, and that has been the case today.
Good job. Good play out there by Ayala.
Yeah, if he does not make that catch, base is clear. Here's Kelly. Fly ball to center. Got tied up in knots on that one, 0-1 the count.
That's that breaking ball again, and you know the scouting report's got to be to throw Eli Kelly breaking ball, so he's going to have to battle, find a way to show them that he can hit that ball.
7th batter to the plate this inning for Marian. Kelly batting .208 this season.
Whoa. Turned on that one. Now he's in the hole again. Just got to find a way to battle through this.
Kelly's best day of the season was a 3-hit performance against Spring Arbor back on March 21st. Had 4 RBI on that day. Turns on that one. He's reading the off-speed well.
That was a really good swing on a breaking ball. I agree with that. Now I wonder if Newbie, based on that swing, tries to speed him up and throw a fastball right by him. But if you're Eli Kelly, you can't let that happen. If he does, you just try to shoot that ball in the right field. Good take.
1-2.
So Newbie shows a fastball that he misses with down and in there. My guess is he's going to come back with a breaking ball again here.
Action is underway in the Grace bullpen.
Breaking ball.
Turns on this one and, just foul.
It's a much better at-bat. This is the best at-bat for Eli Kelly in the last 2 days. I really like, seems to be dialed in here. So now you get the breaking ball. Will he double up with a breaking ball or try to go with a fastball? So, again, if you're Kelly, you got to be prepared for both. I would sit on a breaking ball, and if I get the fastball, I'm just trying to shoot it in the right field. It's okay to get jammed here. You jam yourself a single in the right field.
Kyle Showley is the pitcher that is loosening in the pen.
Great job, Eli. Like to see the battle here. Great job. Good pitching, good hitting right here.
Count 1-2.
So now, if you go by his sequence, he'll go back to the fastball here. Went back to the fastball, so now it's 2-2. So now, again, if I'm Eli Kelly, I go back to my situation where I'm sitting, I'm looking for the breaking ball. But if he doesn't throw that and he tries to beat me to fastball, again, don't be afraid. You take an emergency swing. If he's smoking in the right field, there's nothing wrong with that. But because I've been struggling so much the last couple of days in breaking ball, that's the one I'm going to be looking for. And that's it.
Got him tied up. Able to catch it out of the air. No need to throw the ball to first base. Inning is over, but Marian, 2 in the second, 2 more in the third, and they have leveled this at 4 through 3 innings. You're watching Crossroads League Baseball on the ISC Sports Network.
Step into the ring.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. a great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
I want to thank our friends at Spot. Today's logistics marketplace is an ever-changing landscape where you can make your mark as a leading third-party logistics company in North America. Spot gives you the tools to tackle industry challenges for our partners. Here, initiative, drive, and teamwork form the basis for a rewarding, fast-paced career. At Spot, we've never lost the entrepreneurial spirit that provides the foundation for our success. Chart your own course today. Visit spotinc.com/careers for more information. spotinc.com/careers. Spot is proud to partner with Marian University. Coming up this time through for Grace. Batters 6, 7, and 8.
Well, Leutchinger's got his team has got him back even. Let's see what he does here.
Nobody throwing in the bullpen yet for Marian, but several players in uniform hanging out down in the bullpen as we speak. Again, Leutchinger has pitched deep into games each of his last 2 times on the bump. Hartley singled and had an RBI his last time up. Hartley 24 extra base hits.
Oh, good pitch.
A season ago. Hartley had 12 home runs last year, which was the school record until the last 2 days.
2 in a row.
Yeah, same pitch, same result. Gone fishing.
Oh, I love it. Good discipline by the hitter, but excellent execution by the pitcher, Leutchinger, right there. Said it yesterday, man. Really, this level of baseball, man, you don't see sometimes the tremendous velo you see maybe at the D1 level, but these guys can really pitch.
Hartley turns on one and again. Ball will carry today, but the park will hold it. Right fielder backing up all the way in Miller to get that one up to the warning track, and there's one away. Here's McIntosh. McIntosh getting just his 11th appearance of the season.
So I don't think we saw him yesterday.
And this one sent foul.
That is going to get a car.
McIntosh 3 for 12 on the year coming in, so he's 3 for 13 now. No home runs and 4 runs batted in. He's a red shirt most of last year.
You hear the crowd? I think that one got a car.
There's a reason why there's a sign that says park at your own risk.
I mean,
down the right field line.
Oh, goodness gracious. There you go.
Yep, there's your confirmation. How many times have you lost a window or a windshield at a baseball game?
Never, because I will park far away from the field.
It happened to me one time. Got him. Late break. He's got the inside corner.
Excellent pitch.
Backwards K, first of those today. 4th in total thrown by Leutchinger. He is now retired. The last 4 batters since giving up that home run. And there's 2 down.
See, the catcher catches that, looks way in, but that ball crosses a lot of the plate to get to that glove. So where did you lose your windshield, Greg?
At Greenfield Central High School. It wasn't a windshield. It was a rear window.
Gotcha.
Not like that. It was like a panel.
Gotcha.
Back right side. I'm getting ready to get on I-7. Like, man, it sounds like there's a breeze in here. And I turn back and look and utter a couple of words I can't repeat on the broadcast. Joyce, a pop up to the third baseman his last time up.
Is that an insurance claim type thing?
Yes.
Or do you, okay.
It was first a cardboard box type thing, and then it was an insurance claim. 2-1 the count.
And that was after a chilly ride home.
Let's get the duct tape, kids.
Whoa, just a bit high.
Count it 3-1 now. Should get a good pitch to hit here.
Oh.
And he did. He was stunned that it even got that much of the plate.
Well, the thing is, it was a good pitcher's pitch, right? Because that breaking ball there, man, that's to throw that in that situation.
And
Good
missed the
take.
plate. So 2-out walk. Last time that came back to haunt Leuchinger.
It did.
Happened back in the first.
2 quick outs, then a walk.
Here's Mason Wire. Mason, the starting third baseman. Wire getting his 30th appearance of the season. Fly ball to center his last time up. One of the many fly balls that has had a whole lot of carry to it. He went a combined 0 for 3 in 2 games yesterday. Wire, a freshman from Westview High School. Turns on this one, but
Good swing.
pulls it foul. And this is a 9-inning game. Game 2 will be of the 7-inning variety. Rob Brown will join Chris for that game. Count now 2-1. Leuchinger about to throw his 75th pitch.
Oof.
Inside out swing.
Got out of it.
How about that basket catch from Bale? Well done by the first baseman. He'll bat third in the bottom half of the 4th inning. We're tied at 4 through 3.5 on ISC.
This story is mad good.
Ice Spice?
Who's that?
It's my ex, lemon lime soda.
This is intense.
But I love you.
Ah, buddy, it'll be okay.
Or not.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
When you are visiting the Marian University campus, there is a wonderful sandwich shop that's not far away. That'd be Hoagies and Hops. 42nd and Boulevard. They've been serving the best cheesesteaks and hoagies in Indianapolis since 2015. It is literally 5 minutes away from the Marian campus, and you get a 15% discount when you show your game day ticket or a Marian ID card. For hours, menu, location, visit hoagiesandhops.com. Chris, have you been to Hoagies and Hops?
I have not, but I really want to from your read. I'm telling you, sounds good.
So I went with Brant McCoskey from our ISC staff yesterday. I think he got the Hog Island. I went with the Pit Twist, which is a sandwich that has coleslaw and potato chips in the sandwich.
Oh, my gosh.
Rolls brought in from South Philadelphia. Good stuff.
Got to check that out.
Closed on Mondays, open the rest of the week, hoagiesandhops.com. Here's Penarski. Got hit in his front foot by a pitch his previous plate appearance. Newbie on for his second inning work, and again, he threw 6 1/3 on Monday, so I would not imagine that he is long for this one, even if this is a successful inning. There is action in the bullpen here for Grace. How about that one snapping in for a strike?
Breaking balls on both sides of the plate now.
Penarski completes the second trip through the lineup for Marian. Oh, and tails away.
Nice job by Kosme there to keep it in front.
Karski trying to extend a hitting streak to 4 games.
Oh, see ya.
Absolutely nothing you can do with that.
No.
Tip your cap and hope for better luck next time.
That's correct.
So back-to-back strikeouts by Newby after he had 4 consecutive batters reach last inning. Here's Salazar. Came to the plate with bases loaded his last time up. By the time his at-bat finished, 2 runs had scored. And Cam had nothing to do with it. Ball is lifted foul. Just joining us, 2 runs scored in a wild pitch. Wasn't a Little League home run, but close. Ball caromed almost into the dugout. And credit Calvin Miller for hustling
Really
the entire way.
That's correct.
That one misses. Count 1-1. Salazar 0 for 2 today. Again, that was just to kind of get the third baseman moving a little bit there. Wire was behind the bag as well. He should be. Salazar now 2-1.
Great pitch.
Dots the outside corner. Count at 2-2. Get that look at Salazar, the flow and stash, A+ level. Ground ball. Second baseman charges. Salazar hustling, but still plenty of time, and make it 2 down, and Salazar 0 for 3 in the leadoff spot today.
Good pitching there by Parker Newby. Just really got the breaking ball dialed in right now. He can throw it to both sides of the plate, making it really tough on the hitters.
And it wasn't like he was serving up taters in the last inning. It was just kind of some good swings, well-placed ground balls. Here's Bale. Pair of ground balls to shortstop today for the 6'7" slugger. Frankly, Grace has held him in check these 3 games.
Done a really nice job with him.
For a guy that clearly is an all-conference level performer, given what he has done this season.
Wow.
And that's the admission of you were fooled. Count is 0-2.
So that's 2 breaking balls here. See what he goes with. I think he probably should throw another one, but
he did.
He left it up.
And Bale roped it.
That's a situation as a pitcher, you don't want to throw that for a called strike. That one's you got to bounce in the dirt. Can't be a strike there. You left it up and he hit it hard.
So Bale on the board, his first base knock of the day. And Max Steffen, who has reached both times and scored once, will come to the plate.
Max had a really good at-bat last time. Just smoked the line drive into left field after battling in his at-bat.
Max did not make his season debut until conference play on March 2nd. Swings and misses there.
That's the swing you can't have on that pitch. That's more of a pull swing there, and that ball's darting away from you. Got to think, drive that ball the other way. Good pitch.
Count at 0-2. Steffen, his 3rd year in the Marian program.
Now that's where the 0-2 breaking ball should have been. It's the previous batter, Bale. That's a great 0-2 pitch right there.
Count at 2-2. Steffen began his career at Division III powerhouse Marietta, Southern Ohio.
Steffen won from Moeller. Is that
Moeller to Marietta to here. Yep.
Gotcha.
Shortstop drifts over. He'll go the long way and get Steffen by a stride, and the inning is over. No damage done for the 2-out single. We are tied at 4 through 4. You're watching Marian baseball on ISC.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
Top of the lineup rolls back through for Grace. De Leon, Cody, and Stark, alongside Chris Walker. Greg Rakestraw with you on the ISC Sports Network again. Join us on Tuesday for Marian softball. They take on Taylor. Marian now in the midst of a homestand, really to wrap up the regular season. The Knights in softball ranked 14th in the country. They just beat Indiana Wesleyan 14-3 in game number 1. Game number 2, down 7-0.
Wow.
In game number 2. That game is likely for the Crossroads League Championship. With one more week of the regular season left to go in both baseball and softball. Baseball tournament, softball tournament the next week. So Leutringer on for his 5th inning of work. He's trying to get through at least 5 innings for a 3rd consecutive start.
And he's back to the top of the lineup and the hitter that he's owned today.
Leading off for the Lancers at the top of the 5th inning, the center fielder, number 11, Maximo De Leon.
De Leon, who has struck out twice, will look for a better result this time around. Foul tip back in the mitt. Marian coming in 18-12 in league play, 23-20 overall. On pace to improve from both league marks a season ago and overall record as well. Marian finished 25-27 last year. Went 17-19 in league play. Cue shot foul. 1-2 the count. Now, again, Marian has a difficult task next weekend. Got to go to league number 1 Taylor. But they may get the benefit of Taylor already having clinched the spot. In other words, they may hold, I wouldn't say hold a pitcher, but may get some limited innings and things like that to save guys for the league tournament the next week. De Leon turns on this one. Center fielder drifting back at the fence, and that will go.
Man.
De Leon leaves the building, and it's 5-4 Lancers.
I did not think that one was hit as well.
Again, I would point to the win today. That's going to help everything go.
That looked like it was in on the hands a little bit.
So second home run of the day. Other one belonged to Ryan Stark, who is now on deck. Grace won game 1 yesterday. Marian took game number 2. Here's Cody, who has flown out twice. Once to left and once to center. And goes to left. And didn't get enough of that one. Left fielder, an E-step drifting over, and a Tom Browning box score. 3 fly ball outs for Cody so far. Here's Stark, who has reached twice and scored twice, and once of his own volition.
Yes, once he scored himself. That ball smoked.
Rips that one. E-step diving effort, could not get there. That will be at least 2. Stark going to stop right there, and I think wisely so. Yep, 2-bagger.
That ball is hit very well. Stark gets a fastball. He just pounds in the left center field gap. E-step dives for it, allows it to get to the wall, and Stark's got an easy stand-up double.
A little bit of a conversation here. I think this is simply a way to buy some time for some warm-ups in the bullpen. His action is just getting started. I'm sure that they will take as long as need be here until prompted by the home plate umpire to potentially get a little more time. Dylan Holmes is the pitcher that is getting loose in the pen for Marian. They'd like to get Leutzinger through the fifth if they can, but Grace did lead 3-0 after the top half of the first inning.
Yeah, my guess is 5 runs is going to win this game.
No. Here's Cosme. Cosme walked and scored back in the first, struck out his last time up. Off speed misses. Cosme, a red shirt a season ago. And misses again.
Cosme walking a strikeout today. See if he can drive in his teammate here with a base knock.
4th year in the Grace program for Cosme. Set on a fastball 2-0 and fouled it straight back.
Straight back.
Laces that one foul. Count now at 2-2.
See if he throws that nasty breaking ball here. Sitting on the outside corner. Ouch.
Where's one instead?
Goodness. Missed with a fastball. They wanted to go fastball up, but they just missed up and in.
Courtesy runner will come in here for Cosme. Stogsdill is already headed towards the first base bag. Ayala now will come to the plate, and he doubled and brought home 2 runs back in the first inning. Courtesy runner 9. Ayala, the left fielder. Stark at second base, Stogsdill at first. 3 runs in the first and 1 in the second. 1 here in the 5th inning, foul ball. Grace has led for most of this game. First win yesterday for Grace saw Evan Etchison become the all-time wins leader at Grace College. A little high, 1-1 the count. Just a bit low.
It's a really good take there by Ayala. Get himself in more of a hitter's count. I think we just got the signal. The reliever's ready down in the Marian bullpen.
I would say Leutzinger is likely nearing the end.
Yes. It's a dangerous pitch here. Don't want to walk him, but you definitely don't want to groove one here. If you walk him, your day's probably done. But if you groove one, your day's probably done.
Off the end of the bat. Stark tagging, but again was late to get back to the bag. And
great throw.
Yeah, not bad for a converted infielder, right?
No kidding.
That's E-step out and left. He played third until this year. And rifles that one in, and that's going to be it for Leutzinger regardless. Coach Miller making his way to the dugout, and Marian will make a pitching change. Let's tell you about that when we come back. They're going to go with the lefty that has been loosening in the pen. To who that is when we return. You're watching Marian Baseball on ISC.
When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. Anything.
Whoa! Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
We noted Dylan Holmes was loosening, but it will be Justin Johnson. He'll be the player coming in. Now, uniquely, he is from Schererville, Indiana. But Justin pitched for Marian Catholic
That's in my
High
Catholic
School.
league in Illinois, man. That's cool. Wow.
Sometimes I set things up knowing what's coming.
Yeah, I love it.
Justin on the season has made 8 previous appearances. He last pitched in the Saturday game against Bethel. Gave up 2 hits, 2 runs, struck out 2. In an inning and 2/3 against the Pilots. Justin this season, a 7.36 ERA, 7 1/3 innings pitched. He has walked 4, he has struck out 8, and opposing batters are hitting .276 against Johnson. You would think this is to kind of go lefty versus lefty here, and it looks like there might be a counter move here for Grace. It was Hartley who was, his spot was up. They've got a new name on deck, but not a new name for the broadcast because we saw him in relief yesterday. Steen Bellerjoe is both a hitter and a pitcher at Grace, and he has grabbed a bat, and he's going to hit here in Hartley's spot. So Grace will counter the lefty versus lefty matchup by bringing a righty to the plate. So Bellerjoe this year is a .308 batter. As you'd imagine, as a pitcher, his appearances are somewhat limited. He's 4 for 13. But he has no home runs and 2 runs batted in. Bellerjoe from the state of Alabama. Pitched very well in relief in game 1 yesterday. That's really part of the story, not just Etchison pitching well, but Bellerjoe and Schumacher came in and kept the door shut. Bellerjoe went 1 for 1 at the plate against IU South Bend and proceeds to get hit. So 2 runners on the base paths of the 3 have been because of hit by pitches. And here comes McIntosh. McIntosh is 0 for 2, got caught looking his last time up.
He can wipe all that out right here with a big hit.
7th batter to the plate this inning for the Lancers. And just the second that Johnson has faced. Top of the zone for a strike. Well, Holmes continues to loosen for Marian. Off the end of the bat.
That's trouble.
Right center, center fielder can't get there. That'll drop and 2 runs will score. Nobody covering second. Advancing on. Make it 7-4 Lancers. The 2 RBI double for Braden McIntosh.
Really good job there by McIntosh. He just takes the ball where it's pitched. It's hard with the shift a little bit. Center fielder just can't get to it. Drives him 2 runs there.
So both those runs are charged to Leuchinger. He's on the hook for 7 runs in 4 2/3 today. Pinch hitter will come in here for Grace. So in Wire's spot in the lineup, Sean Gannon now will come to the plate. Gannon the season batting .237, a home run, and 8 runs batted in.
Is that Wire's spot or is that Joyce's spot?
Joyce's spot. You're
Joyce,
right. My bad. Thank you.
Okay, just make sure.
Yeah, Wire's on deck. Joyce is the right fielder. So this is Gannon coming to the plate here. Gannon, a local product from Brownsburg. Gannon played in the second game yesterday and went 1 for 3. Gannon getting his 27th appearance of the season. Runners at second and third. Just misses.
Good pitch.
2-0.
Looking one pitch, one spot here for Gannon.
8th batter this inning. All began with a solo blast by De Leon. Stark, Cosme, Bellerjoe, and McIntosh have all reached. At the belt for a strike. 3-1. Ground ball that'll get through for a base hit. They'll send the runner. E-step couldn't pick it up. And with that, Gannon will get an extra bag out of it.
Ooh.
Making 9-4 Lancers.
Hitting in an error.
So a single for Gannon. And the first error of the game on E-step puts him at second. And now Joyce will re-enter in Gannon's spot. So Joyce returns. Gannon gets both runs batted in. Now another pinch hitter in LeBlanc coming in Wire's spot.
Scorecard's getting ugly.
We saw LeBlanc yesterday. LeBlanc batting .290. 2 home runs and 13 runs batted in. And much like Gannon, a former Brownsburg Bulldog. But it is now 5 in the top of the 5th here for Grace. Off the end of the bat, foul. The Lancers have batted around here in inning number 5. This one should end it. Panarski has a beat on it. Inning is over. Damage is done. 9 Lancers to plate. 5 come around to score. And after 4.5, it is Grace 9 and Marian 4. You're watching Crossroads League Baseball on ISC.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Grace with their biggest breather of the series. They put up 5 in the top of the 5th, and they lead Marian 9-4. Again, Marian part of a cluster of teams that are all at 18 wins in the league. There's a big difference between being the 2, 3, 4, or 5. 5 seed kind of is in the play-in part of the conference tournament. 2, 3, and 4 go straight to the double elimination portion of the bracket. Grace is a little more cut and dry. They are 8. That's probably about as high as they can go. They are trying to fend off Bethel behind them, and that's who they play next Thursday and Saturday to finish out the regular season. Here's Josh Lamb to lead things off.
So it's going to be some meaningful baseball played up in northern Indiana here next week, huh?
And again, Marian has to go to top team in the league and nationally ranked Taylor to finish the season. 12-6 curveball in for a strike. Lamb a single and a run scored his last time up. Curtis Runner scored it for him in Gick. A little high. And this is Newby's 3rd inning, and he threw 6 on Monday. But he may now be asked to maybe eat another inning here with a 5-run lead. Ground ball, shortstop. Will charge and will not field it properly.
Got the glove on it, just kicked right out of the glove.
And Lamb will head back to the dugout as Gick will replace him yet again. That's one the shortstop would like to have back. Dalton Cody.
Yeah, he did the hard part. He had the glove on. He just couldn't keep it in.
Here's Corona. Ground ball just to the left of the second baseman. Had an RBI his last time through. For Corona, his 19th of the season. Toss back. And we talked about this. Gick has been a regularly used courtesy runner. Does have 4 stolen bases on the season. And this is his 19th appearance of the year. Count of 2-0. Activity just starting to spring up again in the Grace bullpen. Shalley loosening, as we've seen him do on a couple of different occasions. So we'll see him at some point, perhaps sooner rather than later. A perfectly placed swinging bunt. Newby, a stumble, and ball gets away from the first baseman. Everybody gets a free 90 feet there. They will hold the runner at third. And you can't fault Newby, just kind of blew a tire trying to field that one. And then trying to make the play from the seat of his pants. Ball got away.
Should you give him a hit and an error there, do you think?
I would do that, yes. Because, again, the stumble was not his fault.
Right.
So I would say a base hit for Corona. And then an error to give everybody the free base.
Yep.
Let's see if that might be it for Newby here. Or just more of a conversation. And then Shalley has been loosening for a couple of innings. He may be ready when needed. E-step hit by a pitch his last time up. He has reached twice without the benefit of a base hit. So did Dawson, when you talked to him before the game, expound further on what he thought his role in World Wrestling Entertainment might be once his playing days are over with?
Well, no. I asked him, so what, you going to be like a Rey Mysterio type? He says, no, man, I'm just going to be original. He says, I just want to be myself. He says, I think if you make it in that industry, you got to be original. So, but he wants to be on TV, man. He wants to do it.
Would he call his finishing move up Dawson's Creek? Would he challenge people to E-step to Dawson when he got in the ring?
Greg Straw, you are the greatest, man. Up Dawson's Creek. I wonder what that move would actually be.
So E-step scored a run back in the second. Third baseman in here, first baseman in 2. Ground ball up the middle scores a run. Marian not really wanting to trade outs for runs, though, at this stage of the game. Ground ball, foul ball. Temperature approaching 80 degrees.
Wow.
Today's the day when you get a sneaky sunburn. Ground ball, that'll get through at least to score a run. That's well done by the shortstop.
Yes,
that's
yep.
You're up by 5.
Yes.
Go to first base.
That's right.
Make sure you make the catch. Runner scores. Give E-step an RBI. He's retired as a putout. It's now 9-5.
Yeah, Dawson hits a ground ball. The shortstop gets himself a run. Like you said, shortstop made the right decision there.
When I said that'll get through, in other words, it got by the third baseman. If the third baseman makes that play, he's looking at home.
Yes.
With the shortstop there, you're either going to try to tag the runner by you,
Yep.
but you have to get it out there,
Gotta
which
get
he
it
did.
out. Yep. That's very true.
Ball got loose in the bullpen, hence the reason why we had a momentary delay. Let's give E-step the RBI. That is his 14th of the season. And same defensive alignment here for Grace. In other words, a ground ball up the middle gets you a run. Miller had a sac fly RBI his last time up.
If you're Marian, you're still in a good position. There's still
Yep.
a lot of game left. Just keep, pecking away here at this lead. Really important at bat by Cal Miller here.
Miller, a two-sport athlete at Marian. At 6'3" and 220, you can probably guess. He is on the football team here as well. Again, was injured before the football season. Have a chance to play for Ted Karras this past year.
You know what position he plays?
Whatever he wants. He's 6'3" and 220. And as compared to reports earlier this week of somebody being 6'3" and 220 and nobody believed it, I believe that young man is actually 6'3" and 220 pounds.
There you go.
Count of 3-0. Wynn whipping out to left field. And Miller, well, not sure if it hit him or not, but it's ball four regardless. So Miller takes the free pass, and again, Newby might be about reaching his expiration date here.
Your shortstop, number 4, Eli.
So here's Eli Kelly. Kelly is 0 for 2.
That's going to be it.
And here comes the move. Yep. Again, Newby had a great day on Monday. Solid day here. And we will see a new pitcher for Grace. We'll tell you about him when we come back. Kyle Showley about to join the fray here at Marian. Grace leads at 9-5 on the ISC Sports Network.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, it's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
So Kyle Showley now on the mound. He went 2 2/3 innings last Friday against Huntington. 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, walked 2. Showley, a young man from Warsaw, another local product. 10.64 ERA. This is his 11th appearance of the season. All but 2 have come in relief. He has thrown 22 innings. He has walked 6. He has struck out 20. But this is what's concerning on a breezy day. Kyle has given up 8 home runs in 22 innings pitched on the season.
Yep.
So he will be charged with keeping the ball down in today's game. And Greg Rakestraw, Chris Walker with you here on the ISC Sports Network. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage over the last couple of days. And we'll be here for Marian softball versus Taylor. Kelsey Casper, Jim Leisure have the call of that one for you. Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock. So third pitcher of the game for Grace. And we'll have the second game of this double dip, approximately 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. That one will be a 7-inning contest. In Indiana Wesleyan, Marian, St. Francis, all 18 and 12 in league play. Mount Vernon, Nazarene, 18 and 14. Spring Arbor and Huntington, both in the mix for those spots as well. And there is a sizable gap to Grace, Bethel, and Goshen. One of those 3 teams will make the league tournament. Grace on 9 league wins, Bethel on 8. The Maple Leafs of Goshen, 6 and 26 so far this year. So here's Kelly. What needs to be Kelly's mindset here with a new pitcher in the game?
Well, a new pitcher in the game, so first thing you're looking for is a first pitch fastball. If you get that and you're Eli Kelly, you need to jump on that. And then you kind of go from there. So you're looking for something up a little bit that you can pound in the outfield, get yourself an RBI, get a good feeling. You just can't let him throw a first pitch fastball for a strike by you here.
And this one lifted foul.
See, even that, right? And that's what happens when you're struggling a little bit, right? You get the good pitches and you foul them straight back. So now it just puts you more in a battle mode. So now you regroup. Probably would expect some sort of breaking ball here. And there it was. So the good thing for Eli, he now evens the count back. So now you most certainly would get another fastball. This one you cannot foul off. You have to be on time and put this ball in play hard somewhere if it's a good pitch.
Sprays it foul again.
That's the tough one. So now it's a 1-2. And you battle. You gotta battle. He's just caught in between here right now. He's caught in between fastball and breaking ball. His timing is just a little off.
You have to worry about that one.
Yep.
2-2 the count.
Not sure if Shally has enough confidence in his breaking ball to throw a breaking ball in 2-2 here. So Eli may get another fastball. But again, I go back to the approach here. Look for breaking ball. If you get it, fight it off. But if you get that fastball, just shoot it in the right field. Get yourself a knock. Through the breaking ball. Good job, Eli.
Eli does have some pop in his bat, even though his average is not great, hovering around 200. Has 3 home runs and 19 runs batted in. He has been the everyday shortstop this year, the young man from Harrison High School. Sophomore here for the Knights.
Good take.
Count goes full now, 3-2. Any thought of starting Miller at first base here?
I think I would here. I really would. And I know Eli struggled here the last couple days, but I'm okay with that. You take your chance here. Eli's last 2 at-bats have been really good. He's gone deep in counts. He's been right on things. He's going to get a fastball here. You got to expect him to square one up to break out of this little funk he's been in.
Miller stays put. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Couldn't catch up to it. 2 down. Here's Penarski. Penarski struck out looking against Newby in his last time up. Penarski hit by a pitch back in the second. Want to know? There is a really good crowd down the left field line, and that'll be on the left field fence today.
Oh, yes, there he is. Good pitch. Tell you what, man, Shaw's going to have a stiff neck. He's got a lot of little whip to him. And I'm telling you, man, his head's going to pop off his shoulders if he's not careful. Ouch.
Right on the hands of Penarski. First baseman gives chase just in case, but cannot get to it in time.
That kind of hurts to look at. Watch him at the very end when he snaps the ball comes out of his hands. He just kind of jerks his head a little bit. Pretty violent.
Count at 1-2. Good take by Penarski.
Great take.
Salazar, top of the lineup on deck. It was 0 for 3 today, but again had the hot bat yesterday for Marian.
Still a big run down there at third base for Marian.
Turns on this one, right fielder backing up. Backing up, but makes the grab.
Catch.
That was Joyce up against the wall in right field that ends the threat for the Knights. They get one back, but no more. Through 5, 9-5 Lancers on ISC.
When you have back or neck pain, you'll try anything for relief. Anything.
Whoa! Honey?
Honey, it was mustard seed.
For real options, get your back in front of the spine experts at Ortho Indy. Ortho Indy Spine. This is your way back.
Well, Dylan Holmes is now in, third pitcher of the day for Marian. Sophomore that's from Kankakee Valley High School up in northwest Indiana. Holmes an ERA of 5.79, a 1-0 record. 8th appearance, all in relief. He's thrown 9 1/3 innings on the season. He has walked 6. He has struck out 9. Opposing batters hitting .257 against Holmes so far this season. Holmes last year appeared in just 1 game. He pitched to 2 batters, walking both, which means depending on your view of life, either his ERA was infinity or 0.
Yeah.
All glass half full, half empty, I guess.
I'm a half full guy. It's a 0.
There you go. Top of the lineup rolls back through for the Lancers. De Leon led the last inning off with a home run. That was now 2 pitchers ago for Marian. Johnson faced just 2. Gave up a hit and got a fly ball to center.
Like I said, still a lot of game left. This game is not out of reach if you're the Marian Knights. Get a couple balls up in the air, get a couple guys on base, you're right back in this game.
De Leon, Cody, and Stark. These are the only games that are being played today. And other games that are hopeful to be played tomorrow. There seems to be a general improvement of the forecast for tomorrow, so maybe you might be able to get some baseball in.
Huh.
And if not, those games that don't get played tomorrow get likely bumped to Monday. De Leon struck out the first 2 times up. In for a strike.
And homered his last time up.
Correct.
Good pitch.
A little more velocity on that one. Count now 0-2. That home run for De Leon was his 5th of the season. Right center, center fielder drifting over, center fielder cannot get there, and that's likely going to be 3 for De Leon.
Yep, he's moving.
De Leon hustling into third base, throw gets into Salazar, a stand-up triple for De Leon. Podarski did all he could to get that one.
This ball's just crushed the other way. Podarski gives a great effort just out of his reach. As soon as that ball hit the ground, we knew that was 3 bags for De Leon.
For De Leon, his 2nd triple of the season. And Marian down 4 will bring everybody in here with Cody at the plate. He has had 3 fly ball outs so far today. Frankly, a fly ball out here would be perfectly fine.
Absolutely.
3 in the first, 1 in the third, and 5 last inning for Grace.
Ouch.
Foul ball. Grace began the season with Taylor. In terms of conference play, we've referenced they have not looked like a 9-win team in league play. Well, they've been kind of fighting from behind all year. Grace lost their first 8 league games. So since that time, they have been much closer to 500. Off speed misses.
Great take by Cody. Didn't even flinch at that. Really good balance at the plate right now.
Lofts this one.
This may not be deep enough.
Left fielder coming in. E-Step makes the play. Runner's going to tag, and E-Step airmailed it, but obviously wide of home plate. It was just enough. Give Cody the RBI, and the lead is back to 5.
Nice job by Cody. Gets enough of it to get himself a sac fly there. Strong throw by E-Step, but just up the line.
Number 4, the first baseman, Ryan Stark.
So the base is empty for Stark. Stark is halfway to a cycle in today's game. 3 plate appearances. He's reached and scored all 3 times.
Homered and doubled. Triple's normally your hardest one to get.
This is a park that is so spacious. This is more of a triples park. You can get one here.
Yes. Hit in the right spot, you most certainly can get a triple here.
Just off the corner.
Surprised Lamb is setting up so far off the dish.
Turns on this one. Is it a
homer.
2-homer day? It
Yes,
is.
it is.
And he's done that multiple times this season. His 3rd of the series, number 15 for the year, and it's now 11-5.
That ball was absolutely destroyed. And once again, he needed no win for this one. That ball was crushed.
He had consecutive multi-homer games against Mount Vernon Nazarene. Does it now against Marian as well. For Holmes, that is the first home run he has allowed in 38 batters faced this year. Here's Cosme. So Grace now enjoys their largest lead of the day. High and in tight. And for Stark, it is his 4th multi-homer game of the season.
A lot of hitting. Oh,
Cosme into left field for a base hit. So a single, a homer, and a triple in 4 batters faced so far for Holmes. Stogsdill will come in to run for Cosme. Ayala, who doubled and drove home 2 back in the first inning, has since flied out to left and ground to the second baseman.
Greg, the Lancers are a single away from hitting for the cycle in the inning here.
In for a strike.
Actually, I'm sorry, a double away.
A lot of folks, but nobody throwing just yet in the Marian bullpen. Just hit the outside corner. As the wind continues to whip out to center field. There's going to be gusts in the neighborhood of 35 to 40 miles an hour today. It is made for a pro hitter afternoon here in Indianapolis. We're just past the 2-hour mark in this one. And this one down the left field line, and it's going to stay fair, and that's gone. And that for Ayala is really good hitting of reading the weather conditions.
No kidding.
Kind of tomahawk one that's high and in tight and turn on it. It's exactly what he did to make it 13-5. And now if you're Marian, you're starting to worry about run rule territory getting to the next inning of the game.
That's right.
Because we do have a run rule once you get to the 7th, 10 or more.
You called it. Niall did a great job just getting the ball middle land and just get the barrel to it on a day like today. Get it up in the air.
Give Ayala his 3rd home run of the season. RBI 3 and 4 of the afternoon.
And I'm going to say what you have said several times in the broadcast. This does not look like an 8th place team in the conference.
Here's Beller Joe. He stayed in this spot. Hartley the DH. So he'll get some extra swings today, will Steen. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. So Grace has scored 9 times in the last inning and a third. Three and one the count.
Now, if you're Bill Joe, you're just kind of looking for a similar pitch, look for something middle in that you can get up in the air.
And a walk.
And if you don't, you take your walk.
So 5 of the first 6 batters have reached in this inning. Braden McIntosh due back up. Doubled and scored his last time through. Had a pair of runs batted in as well. Quick mound convo, maybe just to give a little more time to loosen in the pen. Got a lefty going for the Knights currently. But unfortunately for the Knights, Holmes getting kind of roughed up here in the top of the 6th inning.
Sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield.
Normally that's better for the windshield. But there was a foul ball evidence of that not being the case earlier today. Well, for Holmes, this is the most runs he has given up in an outing this season. He had not given up more than 2 in any appearance so far this year. Wind blows the hat off of Holmes. It's going to happen a few times today.
Seen a steady wind gust now. Hadn't been, I don't think, this bad so far today. Good pitch.
It's the outside corner. McIntosh was 0 for his first 2 before that double. Line drive, base hit. Miller Joe will stop at second base. Grace certainly appears they're going to bat around for a second consecutive inning.
That's when things are going really well for you.
They put up 20 in their win against IUSB, the first of the doubleheader on Tuesday. They lost game 2, 7-6. And that might be it for Holmes right there.
I think so.
The coach coming out to have the conversation. That will be it. So again, let's step aside. Top of the 6th inning. Grace has now blown this one wide open. 13-5 they lead as you're watching Crossroads League Baseball on the ISC Sports Network.
There's something that may surprise you about Marian University. It's not our Catholic faith or our Franciscan values. It's not our 5,000 students or our diversity. It's not Marian's championship athletics or our Indianapolis location. It's that Marian is home to Indiana's only college of osteopathic medicine. Marian, Indy's Catholic University.
Jason Cottrell will come in now for the Knights. Jason on the season, making his 7th appearance. 5th as a reliever. He's thrown 7 2/3 innings. It's been a rough go of it for Jason so far. His ERA north of 16 on the season. 14 earned runs, 9 walks, 7 strikeouts. A couple of home runs allowed by Jason in his limited appearances as well. He is a senior from Terre Haute North High School. He was an NAIA Scholar athlete in each of his last 2 seasons. He was the top reliever on the team last year. With the team in both appearances and wins. Had 16 appearances. Had a 3.29 ERA and went 6-2. So Just has not been able to relive that success in his 4th season in the program.
It's crazy how things change from year to year in this game. Nothing is ever guaranteed.
And sometimes you have 1 or 2 bad outings. That ERA just kind of blows up on you.
And it's hard to bring it back down.
So lefty versus lefty here. John Joyce lifted for a pinch hitter last inning and then immediately re-entered the right fielder. In his 2 plate appearances, he has walked and popped up. Off speed misses. Again, run rule would be 10 and has to be through 7 complete innings today. So we're not there yet, but we're heading that direction. Fishing for that one. 1-1 the count.
Nice slow curveball by Cottrell.
Count of 1-2. Joyce, a hitting streak that has reached now 5 games, trying to continue that here. Chases the off speed there, 2-2 the count.
Not going to hit that one if he keeps swinging at that one.
Looking ahead, Marian brings the top of the lineup back through. Next time up.
Yep.
Top of the zone, got him.
Yep.
Joyce wasn't happy about it, but that call's been given most of the day and a much needed out for Marian.
Mason Wires back in the hit.
Yeah, so Wire here re-enters here. He was in the field last inning. LeBlanc hitting this spot last time up. Wire's 0 for 2 today. Cottrell Ephus is one up there. 1-0 the count.
Kind of digging these little league / high school rules with the re-entry. Get more guys in to get opportunities, get at-bats, get field time. I like that. Have these big rosters, just give these guys an opportunity to play.
Count it 2-0. And Wire, just a freshman.
Uh-oh.
Turns on that one. Left fielder backing up. And Estep makes the grab. Good swing, didn't square it up on the bat, did Wire. However, what was a 4-run lead is now an 8-run lead for Grace. We're through 5.5. You're watching Crossroads League Baseball on ISC.
Hey, grab me one too.
Today's game on the ISC Sports Network is brought to us by Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, proud partner of the Marian University Knights. Shalley is on now in a much different scenario. Entered with a 4-run lead, but runners at first and third. Now has an 8-run lead, and so he'll simply be asked, eat as many innings as you can.
Get me some outs.
So Salazar will lead things off this inning for Marian. Going back to Shalley, for what it's worth, his longest outing this season was 5 innings against IU Columbus. For those who don't know, IU Columbus relatively new to having athletic programs on campus. They played men's and women's basketball for the first time this year. Count it 1-0. Salazar 0 for 3. Count now 2-0.
Still got to take really good at-bats here if you're Marian. Don't throw away your at-bats here. Stay focused.
3-0.
Good job.
And if you're Grace, the last thing you want to see is somebody
passes.
walked with an 8-run lead.
No kidding. Not many things make a coach more upset than that.
Strike call. Salazar now should get another pitch to hit. Get that good look at the profile shot of Salazar, and I see a bit of Dennis Eckersley, a bit of Rafael Palmeiro in the
there you go.
mustache and hairstyle. Inside out swing, left center field, left fielder drifting over.
Catch it.
And makes the play.
Nice job by Ayala. It's a long run out there.
Salazar now 0 for 4. And Zach Bale to the plate. Great job by Greg Sharton to bring that shot to you. Our crew's been phenomenal. Bale, a base hit to left field his last time up. 1 for 3 today. Ball swerves in for a strike.
I want to see Bale get one up in the air, see how far he can hit one.
I think you'd like to see one of those too. Darts in for a strike. Bale down 0-2. Swing and a miss. That's retiring the other team's best hitter on 3 pitches, 2 down. Shalley's second strikeout and 4 batters faced.
Good pitching by Shalley there. Didn't mess around on that at-bat. Attacked the zone. Threw a fastball right by him.
Curveball in for a strike. Steffen a ground ball to shortstop his last time up. Reached the first 2 times and scored back in the third. He went, or it's a called strike either way, 0-2.
It was both, yep. Oh, yeah.
Strike 3 call. Well, for the first time today, Marian is retired in order. To the top of the 7th we go. All Lancers in this one. They lead it by 8 on ISC.
We jumped in immediately. We take a intro to engineering course.
And they sit there and tell you, we're not going to push you through every single prereq your first 2 years. We're going to let you get hands-on work with engineering right away because 2 years of a prereq, that's boring.
There's companies always asking for students with shop experience. And the dean will email me and say, hey, they're looking for a guy just like you, which is awesome that the dean knows who a guy like me is.
Quick score update from softball next door. Marian trailing Indiana Wesleyan 11-2 in game 2 of their doubleheader. They won game 1, 14-3. 4th and final regular season meeting between those 2 nationally ranked teams. And we'll have Marian softball for you on Tuesday when they take on Taylor. I believe because of postponements, Marian's at home next week for softball Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Last week of the regular season. Let's thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Vince Morelez, Kyle Donlin, David Kahn, Dalton Cox, Eldon Wheeler, Greg Sharton, Carlos Alpharetta on cameras for us as well. For a 3rd consecutive inning, Maximo De Leon will lead things off, and it's gone well. Home run and triple his last 2 leadoff appearances.
You know, that's one of those crazy baseball days. First 2 at-bats are Ks, and you're not feeling good about things. 3rd at-bat, you hit a homer. And now your 4th at-bat, you hit a triple. Now you're feeling really good about your day.
So Cottrell faced 2 batters and got both of them out. De Leon with a pair of strikeouts before those last two appearances, but if your leadoff man's hitting for a 5th time and you're in the 7th inning,
you're doing all right.
It's been a good day. There will be a second game, 7 innings of baseball following the conclusion of this one. Give us about 25 minutes to 30 to get the field ready, lineups in at center. In for a strike. Rob Brown due up for the next one. Kind of 2-1.
Really good approach at the plate by De Leon. Don't see him out front fooled a whole lot. Really good balance through his swing.
Rolls that one towards the Marian dugout foul. And the count at 2-2. And De Leon, the career steals leader at Grace. That's 16 stolen bases this year. Sends this into right field. Right fielder's got a beat on it. Catch is made. That's Miller, and De Leon makes a right turn to the dugout for the first time since the second. There's one away.
Good job by Miller coming in. Get the glove on that one. First out of the inning.
Here's Cody, a sacrifice fly to the left field line his last time up. So 0 for 3 with an RBI today. Fastball hits the outside corner for a strike. Cody just 1 hit for the 3 games so far.
Good pitch.
And one of the few quiet bats for Grace over the course of the last couple of days. He had a 5-hit game earlier this year where he had a home run and 8 runs batted in.
It's a heck of a day.
A lot of guys call that a month.
Doesn't say.
Swing and a miss.
Nice.
Strikeout, and that's 4 batters retired for the senior lefty. And there's 2 down.
Here comes dangerous.
Stark, a pair of home runs, 4 plate appearances, has scored all 4 times. And he reaches again. Stark a little upset about that. I don't think that was intentional.
Yikes.
He'll help the on-base percentage.
That one was not close.
Because frankly, if that was intentional, that'd have been thrown a lot harder. Cosme, who has scored 3 times today. He's been hit by a pitch as well. Singled and scored last time up. And the count at 1-0. Activity starting just again in the Marian bullpen.
Cosme wants to do something big here because his teammate just wore one.
Count at 2-0. Cosme's only negative plate appearance was a strikeout back in the 3rd. Walked, hit by a pitch, singled, scored 3 times. And the count now 3-0. Taken all the way, that's in for a strike. 3rd time this week that Grace has been in double figures. They beat Goshen 12-1 in their single game makeup on Monday. Quick toss back.
Good spot to hit right now if you're Cosme. Oh, good rip.
He was swinging for the downs on that one.
Yes, he was.
For Grace, the 13 runs scored in this game matches the most they have scored in a conference game this year. They put up 13 in a win against Mount Vernon back on March 15th. Now in the dirt, and ball 4. Here comes Ayala to the plate.
You know what he did last time?
Stogsdill again will take care of Cosme's spot. All those runs that Cosme we attributed to him, really Stogsdill has scored those for Grace. Ayala homered his last time up. I'd say Grace has been really good with 2 outs. They've been good with no outs, 1 outs, or 2 outs. They have not been productive with 3 outs in today's game. Line drive, foul ball.
Just foul.
Now, if somebody tells you that they led the league in 3-out scoring, it's fair to question that. Got it 1-1. Center fielder Penarski shading towards left for Ayala, understandably so. And sends this one towards the right side. That'll score 1. Stogsdill will head to third base, 14-5. And again, if this gets to 10, Marian has a chance to bat in the bottom of the 7th, but that would be that for game number 1. And how about Ryan Stark's day? 5 runs scored.
Yeah, that's a good line right there.
And for Ayala, that would be his 5th run batted in.
He's a triple away from the cycle now.
Bellarjo has reached twice, has yet to get a base hit. Walked once and hit by a pitch. Runner going, shallow right field. That might get down, it will. So that makes it 15-5. And Stogsdill himself has a 4-run day as a courtesy runner.
Kidding.
Bellarjo gets an RBI. Because Ayala was running, he is at third base. So again, we're now in the run rule territory, but Marian will have a chance to bat in the bottom half of the inning. Here's McIntosh, who has base hits his last 2 times up. And that one tails out of the zone. McIntosh's best offensive day of the season before this one came all the way back on Tuesday. He's 2 for 4 against IU South Bend. He's 2 for 4 today as well. And from Roseville, California.
Ooh. Had a good one to hit right there.
McIntosh's 4th year in the program. Counted 2-2. Grace batted around each of the last 2 innings, and batter number 7 of this inning is at the plate. Swing and a miss. But Marian's got to score 1 here in the bottom of the 7th just to keep this one going. It's stretch time in Indianapolis. 15-5, Lancers lead. You're watching Marian baseball on ISC.
Getting an internship here has been much easier than I anticipated. My friends at bigger schools are telling me, well, I need to live, close to this city so I can work for this company. Well, I'm already close to the city. I live here.
Merchants Bank is one of the nation's top performing banks. Take our fixed rate CD, for example. At 4.5 APY, It's a great way to earn a higher interest rate than you do with a traditional savings account. Merchants Bank makes it simple. What you see is what you get. A great rate. No gimmicks, no minimums, no hidden fees. Merchants Bank, one of the nation's top performing banks. Hop on over.
Want to thank our friends at AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours, so trust the pros at AAA Roofing. That's who we call. Special thanks to AAA Roofing for their support of Marian Athletics. And alongside Chris Walker, Greg Rakestraw with you. Marian will send 4, 5, and 6 up this time through. And they're in danger of getting a run rule in their home yard. Lost the opener yesterday 5-2, came back and won the nightcap 2-1. Maybe in a similar situation here. So Lamb has reached the last 2 times. He's gone to the plate. Gick has then scored in his spot. Shalley came into this game when it was 9-5 and runners on first and third. In a 10-run game, could be in position to get the save today.
Wow.
Lamb swings and misses. Lamb is 1 for 3, reaching an error his last time up. This is the only spot in the lineup that has scored multiple runs today for Marian. And Lamb, right field, second baseman's got it. That's well done by McIntosh.
It really was.
It's good. And there's, as you've probably getting tired of us saying this, there's no easy pop-up today.
Yeah, good communication. Walt's kind of hitting that triangle between the second base and first base and right fielder. Worry about guys not communicating and running into each other, but he did a great job of calling everyone off on that one.
Corona's had 2 base hits that did not concern themselves with exit velocity his last 2 times up. Slow rolling ground ball past the second baseman and a swinging bunt down the first base line. And on the box score, that says 2 for 3.
It does. And when you tell the story, you tell everyone you smoked 2 baseballs.
I can literally hear Kevin Costner's voice. A ground ball with eyes, a duck snort. Of all the sports terminology I use in other sports, line drive and the box score might be one of the things that I say the most. 2-1 the count. E-step is on deck for Marian. At least it's his spot in the lineup due up next. Corona
way behind that fastball.
Trying to hit a bases empty grand slam on that swing, and it's 2-2. Sends this one to left. Good contact, but an atom ball to the left fielder, and Marian down to a potential final out of game number 1.
It's a good piece of hitting there by Corona. Squared it up just right to the left fielder, Ayala.
Here's E-step. RBI ground ball to shortstop his last time up. He's had 3 productive at-bats, has yet to get a base hit. Played at University High School. University, who made the boys basketball state finals a couple of weeks ago for the first time. University, a team that has Alan Henderson's son in their lineup. Swing and a miss, and Marian down to a potential final strike. And how about Shalley? He is trying to retire his 8th consecutive batter since he came into the game.
And a great outing by him.
Not bad for a guy that had double-digit ERA coming in.
No kidding.
Much like Etchison, who again became Grace's all-time wins leader yesterday, his ERA dropped by about a run in yesterday's game, and Shalley might be doing the exact same thing. Did he go?
I think he did.
He did, and that's the ball game. Game number 1 belongs to Grace. Final score in this one, 15-5 in run rule fashion. Give us about 25 or 30 minutes, and we'll have game number 2 for you. Rob Brown will join Chris Walker for the call on that one. All Grace today. They win this one 15-5. Ryan Stark homers twice. He scores 5 runs. Game 2 just past 5 o'clock as you're watching Marian Baseball on ISC.